Good morning. It is September and I am over here at the shop picking up a seeder so I can do some seeding. You probably notice my money is quite a bit lower than it was last month, and the reason for that is also over here at the shop. I found out about a piece of used equipment from Eddie because he's a good salesman, and I bought it. This is a forage pickup wagon, so I could use this to pick up grass off the ground after I mow, or hay, I suppose, after I mow and ted, and I can put it from here into a shed or a silage pit if I want to make silage. So I'm kind of committing to getting cows now. The chickens are going well out on the farm, and I'd love to have milk and maybe even raise some cow for beef. I don't know, cattle, so we'll see. But I would need mowing equipment and equipment to make silage to feed the cows. So this was not cheap, but it was also something like 60% off. So I got this for around $75,000, and it is just going to sit here for a little while because I don't have grass fields, I don't have a shed to keep the cows in, I don't have mowing equipment or other things, but I'm hopeful that over the winter I can make some money. Let's just hop in here into the tractor and get on out to the farm, and I'll give you a lot of updates. I have a lot of updates as we go. So yeah. Gosh, where do I start? Okay. Well, regarding money, you know I've got the sorghum and the oats that I harvested a few months ago, in the last couple months, and I'm going to be able to sell those over the winter when the price is a little bit better. And I have been producing things in my greenhouses, which I will also have to sell. I've got honey that my bees have been making for me all summer, which I will also have to sell. And I've got eggs now from my chickens, which I also have to sell. So I think I'm going to have a lot of money coming in over the winter. I'm sort of betting on it. And I hope that will be enough to buy. I don't really have a place to set up grass fields or a cow shed. So I want to buy another property out in the frontier to do this. And I'll have to pay for the site prep and setting up the building and everything, and get the grass work going. So it's not going to be a small endeavor, but I do think, I hope, I will have enough income. The other opportunity to earn some more money is actually coming through Paul. So I had my little party last month and got everybody together. It was a lot of fun. I have another update from there to share, actually a bunch from that party to share with you. Wow, it's been so busy. So Paul told me that when the truck tipped over on the way to their cycling center on video a few months ago, there's a lot of dirt roads in town that have... Oh, what is my cut hung up on? Oh no, I have opened up this cedar. Let me get that fixed up. Paul told me that there are a lot of dirt roads in town. Oh, I don't remember how to do that. Oh, this is a mess. No. There we go. Gosh. How did I even do that? I must have hit a button without realizing it while I was driving. I'm all excited to give you all these updates, and I just totally messed that up. Okay. Right. Paul told me that when I tipped the truck over on that dirt road on video... I don't know if that's Leo. I can't remember if he's working today. That didn't look good for the Department of Public Works. There are a lot of roads in town with a lot of dirt that has really sort of piled up over time. The wind has caused it to drift, and people have tracked it with their vehicles driving across it. So it's gotten very dangerous on some of the dirt roads in town. So Paul has said basically, anytime I want to, I can come into town and use my 4-H pickup tool that I bought that's similar to the one they've got for the Department of Public Works, and use their trailer that's got the much higher capacity to pick up dirt off these dirt roads. And they won't pay me to do it like a contract, but I will be able to sell the dirt that I pick up. It is not worth as much as sand. I won't make as much money, but I still might be able to get something like maybe $15,000 per load. So I might be able to make a fair amount over the winter doing that too. It also just depends on how much time I have to pick up dirt and how much... I mean, it sounds really quite boring, honestly, so I don't know how much I can tolerate doing that. But it's an option. It's open to me. And Paul says I can do it anytime. I expect to only do it really during the winter when I'm not busy with farm work. So, yeah, I'm hoping I'll have a lot more money coming in for getting set up with some cows next year. Why is the helicopter literally above me? This is... I just saw it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get over here. I've got my seed and fertilizer in the shed here. I do have some seed in this seeder already. Apparently whoever rented this last just left some seed in it, and the shop said they'll let me take it, so that's cool of them. I will get stuff out of here. I'll get my little front loader or telehandler over here. It's sort of, it's not bad. There's a mix of pallets and bags. And I'll get this thing loaded up and we'll get in there. And then I'll tell you later about some of the other news from that party. Gosh, there's a lot of updates for you. All right, we'll talk soon. Okay, I've got this all loaded up. So I'm going to hop in and get over to the field and we'll get going. So yeah, I had that conversation with Paul while I was at my party, and I don't even know what to tell you next. I guess I did not invite Kendra from Frontier Security, even though I did work with her a fair bit on the getting set up for me to clear sand out here and coordinating with them about having Leo working on doing extra patrols to make sure that I'm safe while I'm doing a contract for the city. And I didn't invite Kendra because good. Okay, I always forget. This working with on this is so wide. That's excellent. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm all set up with the wheat seed too, so we'll just get into it. Get over a little more because there's space. Yeah. Okay. So Kendra showed up, even though I didn't invite her. I'm not entirely sure how she knew that I was having a party, and it was a little strange. I don't know why she wanted to be here. She didn't really say a lot. She just sort of hung out while we were there, and she was very conspicuously not leaving until most of my guests, but mainly Leo, had already left. So I don't know what that was about. It kind of makes me think some other stuff is going on that I don't know about. It's so hard to even know. You know, I'm going to concentrate on what I'm doing, or I'm going to mess this up. I will go into a time lapse here, and I'll give you an update about the rest of the stuff after we're done. See you soon. Okay, I got my seed and fertilizer unloaded from this seeder, so I'm ready to take this back to the shop. This thing is great. It's so big. It makes very short work of this kind of project. So yeah, I really want to buy this in the future. It's a lot of money, and I keep spending money on other things. So, I was giving you updates. Kendra came to the party unexpected. Wasn't invited, don't know how she knew about it. Just stayed and stayed until after Leo and his parents had left, which was conspicuous to me. Don't know why. Kinda have a feeling that it was about making sure Leo didn't say something he shouldn't have said? I don't know. Like, let us be pragmatic. The phone signals that we use to speak to each other on the phone can be intercepted. There's no assurance of or expectation of having a private conversation by phone. So if we wanted to talk about something we didn't want Frontier Security to hear us talking about, it would have to be in person. Basically, the only times Leo and I have met in person have been in public twice. Once we had coffee, and once when we had dinner at that Mexican place in town. And then at my party on the farm, where it was less public. So that might have been the only opportunity he would have had to tell me something that couldn't be said in front of listening ears. So I kind of think that's why Kendra was there, but I don't know if it was just a pragmatic decision to make sure nothing was said that shouldn't have been said, or if it was more like, I don't know. I know Leo has been really, shoot, I did it again. I don't know why I keep doing that. Must be hitting the wrong button in the tractor and opening that up. Only when I come through this gate. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. So, like I was saying, Leo had been really pushing to do whatever was needed to get notifications to me out there in the frontier when alerts are declared. I don't know if that was expanding the geofencing or what that ought to look like, but it's kind of open knowledge that Leo is looking out for me to some degree. So I don't know if she just assumes there might be something said or has some idea about what might have been said. I don't know. And this is all pure speculation on my part. Maybe she just wanted to be there to celebrate my 1 year out there, and it was nothing to do with that. Maybe. In other news, Leo's parents are great. Leo's mom is a farmhand over at Ravenwood, and Leo's dad, I think I said before he worked in the dairy. I misspoke. He works with cows, so he looks after them, does a lot of the work required to feed and care for them, muck out their stalls, or whatever they have building. I hate to turn this in, but I've got to. Yeah, and so I got a lot of good information from Leo's dad about looking after the cows, which is part of why I decided to go ahead and do the cows. I got his contact information, so I'm welcome to talk to him if I have questions or need help or whatever. So that's nice. My little circle is continuing to expand. Let me go ahead and take this inside, turn it in, and I'll be back in just a minute. I have turned in the cedar. They did the inspection. It's all good. Back to the farm. Gotta roll those fields and then I'll be done with the planting. It goes so fast with that big piece of equipment. Yeah, there's more news on that front too. Gosh, I have so many updates. Okay, back to the farm. Yeah, so Leo's parents are fantastic, and I might be friends with them now. And also, I might have been a little hard on Leo. I don't know. He was kind of like a different person with his parents there, and with all the people hanging around. He was just so relaxed and carefree and a lot more fun than he was when we went out in town. So I don't know if Fun Leo is the real Leo, or if the guy who I went out with in town, who was kind of boring and awkward, I don't know. I guess I don't need an answer to that right now, but I don't know, maybe I do want to date Leo. I don't know. There's too much going on in my life to worry about that right now anyway. Yeah, so Leo's parents, Kendra, what else? Paul. Related, not related to the party. When I cultivated those fields after I harvested them, when I plowed them before, it kind of made sense that there were no weeds because I just plowed them, and the ground out here is very hard and not very conducive to growing things. And so I didn't expect weeds the first time I was growing in that field. After cultivating, I did what's called shallow cultivating, which is where you don't disturb the soil that much underneath. You just sort of drag something over the top layer to break down any material that's left on top, and it almost gets mulched back in. It's not as disruptive to root systems. So it's very common when you do shallow cultivating for weeds to grow afterward. And it's been 2 months since I cultivated the oat field and a month since I cultivated the sorghum field, and there are no weeds growing, which is a little strange. Certainly I did not expect that. I'm kind of wondering now if there are going to be weeds growing now that I've planted again. So I'm going to sort of keep an eye out for that. So Kate told me that there have been some people wondering how safe it is to eat the food that I grow out here, because it's the frontier. Who knows? And I think there's going to be some talking points for me to share with you at some point in the near future around that. I've been living out here for a year now. I have been eating stuff from my greenhouses. I think it's fine. Let me get the roller hooked up and start rolling these fields. Okay, that is all finished. I think I'm going to start doing the rolling off camera because that is such a long, slow job. It is one of the least interesting farm jobs in my opinion, and it just takes so long. So I think I will not subject you all to that in the future. Let me get this turned around. I'm going to clean it up before I put it away. Yeah, I guess I'm basically done with the... Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm basically done with the fields now until spring. I'll need to fertilize them again in the spring unless weeds start growing, and then I'll have to do some sort of weed control. I kind of hope they do, because it's a little weird that they haven't, and I feel kind of strange about that. So we'll see how that goes. I guess then I will be filling up my time between now and the spring trying to make some money and getting ready for cows, maybe? I don't know. I have to figure out which one of these properties around me I want to buy to put in a grass field and put in a barn for the cows, and I guess I'll need a silage pit. I have to figure all this stuff out now. But fortunately, I have a new friend who can help me do that, so that's excellent. Okay, party updates. One more thing. I have been pretty good friends with both Rachel and Jenny, and have mentioned them to each other, like, just through the course of us hanging out and whatever. But my party was the first time they met, and it turns out they really hit it off, so I kind of think they might be seeing each other now. They're kind of keeping it quiet, but I think that's awesome. I might have played matchmaker, so 2 of my friends might be dating. That's very cool. Anyway, it was a very eventful party. It was a lot of fun. Kendra being there notwithstanding. The other thing, that note. Okay, so I still don't know what they intended me to do with that information, but I started looking into it. I spoke with the owners of the bowling alley. It's a couple, and they're really nice. They didn't really even know that graffiti was back there. They had seen it, but not paid much attention to it, and there's graffiti all over town, so they are confident they definitely didn't report it as, what did they say, damaged property? That's private property too, so it would have to have been them reporting it for there to be any sort of charges pressed about it. The other building where I saw that graffiti was a privately owned, largely office building, and it was a little harder to track down the owner of that building. The tenants don't necessarily, like, the owner is not a tenant, and I had to go through the facilities management organization who runs the building to find information about the owner. It was a whole big thing to track down the owner, but the owner is super disconnected from everything to do with that building. They basically have income coming in from there and don't have anything to do with the day-to-day operation of it. And I spoke with them and facilities, and neither of them had reported any damaged property relating to graffiti either. So if it is that graffiti that got this person arrested, nobody pressed charges about it. So that's very suspicious. I also did find out the name of the person who got arrested. I'm not going to say it. I'm not even going to say how I found out. But I am trying to find out where this person lives so I can find somebody who knows them to talk to about what happened, to see if it really was the graffiti in question that caused this whole thing to start happening, and if there's anything I can do about it, and maybe if I can find out who left that note, which was still creepy for them to just show up on my property and leave a note. Whatever. So I'm looking into it. I'm making progress. I hope to have more to report soon. I'm also uncertain how much I should report, given what the message was. So I don't want to get anybody in more trouble. I guess we'll see what I find out, and then I'll have to decide. So yeah, that is job done. Lots of stuff going on. Can't wait to see you all next month. Ta-ta for now.